Hello, sweet souls. How are you? How are you feeling? How is your heart? How is your soul? How are you settling into your soul this morning? You know, I had not planned to make a video today because life is lifing. And yet I heard the call shortly, like just a little while ago, to come in and share a free form transmission on what the soul feels like. And I have 0 notes. I only have what my soul and the ancestors have shared already, and I'm going to share that with you openly because I think it's important for you to know what your soul feels like. Understanding that your soul and my soul may feel slightly different, but there are some textures, some properties that feel the same or similar. So let's take a deep breath together. 1 deep breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Ready? Breathe. Now you can keep breathing if you want to. And you can keep your eyes closed if you want to for this entire transmission. No judgment. You do you. I'm not moving, right? And the light's a little strange this morning. But I want to explain how your soul feels like home. Your soul feels like home. My soul feels like home. Such that wherever we are in the world, whatever is happening in the world, whatever someone said to you 5 minutes ago, whatever your parents said to you 30 years ago, your soul feels like the texture of home. And I want to kind of explain some of that in collaboration with all the energies with whom I am collaborating in this moment. Because much of what I share is embodied wisdom from my own soul from so many decades in this existence and perhaps other lifetimes, right? And also, I'm not going to lie, I get prompts. I get prompts from spirit. I get prompts from the ancestors. I get prompts from the Mayan sacred calendar, right? I get prompts from all the voices within. All of these energies are collaborating for me to share what I'm meant to share, what you're meant to hear in this moment. And that's happening for you too, if you allow it, if you desire it. So the soul as a texture feels like home. It feels cozy. It feels like love. It feels like a warm blanket, not those cheap blankets, but that really, really, really nice blanket that you always go for. The one that is thick and woven and sort of richly woven. They didn't skimp on the threads. And you can wrap this around you. You know, the soul is embodied because you are in a body, and so the soul comes into this body, right? You are a human body and you are a soul. And also, the soul is an essence. It is a spirit. It is aligned with the breath, and it flows through you and of you, such that it connects you to yourself and to all, to every other soul that is alive and is not alive today. to those who are richly, intrinsically, always connected to you. So that essence floats through you and takes up residency here in your body. And it is the call of home. It is the call of words like cozy, warm, sweet, essence, calm, peace, compassion, forgiveness, allowing. The soul feels like allowing. It feels like the texture of allowing, and the texture of allowing feels like flow, feels like ease, right? I know I've described before that the soul is the ringleader of all the voices within, and you have many voices within. You have your own voices and other energies and other people's voices within you. Let me describe some of those. There is the mind and its personality and the ego and its brilliance and its worry and its concern for you and its desire to keep you safe. We love the mind. And for much of our lives, the mind is driving the car. And then there are the feelings that come forth from the heart, the tenderness, right? The heart has a voice. It speaks through feelings. And those feelings end up being a bit of a compass to your becoming and your emergence. And I should talk about that in another video. Then there's another voice, which is the pain, like the physical pain in the body. And the body speaks, like my ankle speaks to me every time it is moving through a spurt, a stretch of healing. It might speak with pain. So the body itself expresses through sensation and pain. And then there is the voice of the witness, your awareness that you are consciousness, that you are conscious. And that witness is a little bit more neutral. It notices. It notices this, it notices that. It notices the voices within. And then there is the sensations you feel through your senses, all your senses, the ones that are online and working and obvious and the ones that are not. And that is your instinct, your intuition. That is a voice within. That is not the soul. That is a separate voice within. And I think we conflate them sometimes, and that's okay. All is allowed, right? But really, that is a separate stream. And so all these voices are streams. And sometimes they all want to drive the car. And at some point in your life, usually after you've moved through many dark nights, through transition, through tragedy, through divorce, through death, through loss, through grief, at some point, the soul comes online. The soul's voice comes online to, I don't want to say right size you, that's what I'm hearing, because right, there's no wrong or right, really. I know that the mind thinks there is, but the soul, in the soul field, there is just neutrality, right? There is sort of non-duality. And so the soul comes online because all the voices are yapping away about what you've moved through. And they need help. The soul says, I'm here, let me step in. I will hear all these voices. I will take them all in. I will guide our next steps. And that is wisdom, right? The soul is a kind of wisdom because it can integrate all the voices, integrate all the pain, integrate all the emotions, and say, this is who we are, this is what we want, and this is what we'll do next. That's the soul that does that for you. Unless you leave that decision up to one part of you, one voice within you. And I'm not even speaking about all the voices outside of you, the voices of your parents, the voices of your family members, the voices of your friends, right? Everyone thinking that they are helping you, and maybe they are. And also, this journey is yours. The soul comes online when you're ready, when you need it, and when you want to live life and do life differently. When you want to feel free and more liberated from all the voices within, like you get to a point where you allow those voices and you pause. This happens in stillness and in silence. This is when the body, the soul convinces the body we need to find silence. And so the soul ends up feeling like a kind of home. It calls you home, right? It's driving the car. It's maintaining the home. And it brings all the other voices, I want to say everyone, but all the other voices into the main living space, takes it all in, holds and soothes all those voices, does what it can to make them feel comfortable. And the soul does this simply by allowing, by listening, by holding, by soothing, by allowing you to express. The soul feels like home because it allows all the parts of you to express and be seen and be heard, right? At some point in your life, you stop looking for that validation and that soothing from outside of you, from your partner, from your parents, from your friends, from your boss. Those individuals, yes, are lovely, and it's wonderful to feel like you're in community with other souls, but they are not home. They are not meant to validate you. They are not meant to help you remember how whole you are right here. Your own soul is designed to do that. And so your soul feels like home. In fact, when I first started speaking to my soul, sometimes I would design a little home for me and the soul to be in, right? For the mind and the soul to speak. And it would be beautiful. It was gorgeous, right? And soft and tender. And I could say all the things I had to say, and the soul just received it. So the soul feels like home. The soul feels like love. I want to say, for those of you who embrace this word, the soul feels like God. A little bit of God, of love, of creation energy, of source, of universe lives right within you, moves within you. And you recognize it most, one, I'll say, when your soul is holding all those voices and allowing those voices to be heard and seen. And two, when you take in the world with awe and wonder, right? Because everything is beautiful and wonderful. Even the hard things, even the tough things, even the tragedies. Many of those things unfold for the soul to wake up and come forth and lead the way, so that we may lead with love and not fear, so that we may lead by self-soothing ourselves and not taking out our crap on other people. So we may lead with silence. You know, one of the things that I say to people, especially to the people that I date, when I date, is I don't need to have the last word. You want to go, or you want to fight, or you want to get your point across, go for it. Say it all. I don't need to have the last word. I want peace. I want silence. And when something's not for me, I walk away and I find that peace and I find that silence. The soul invites you into silence. The soul invites you into quietude. The soul invites you into stillness. The soul, in many ways, becomes the metaphorical church for you, right? Where you practice your faith in allowing, in flow, in ease, in holding and soothing yourself. But there's another thing the soul does. Like when I talk about the soul and how it feels so comforting, right? It feels so warm. And also, your soul is wild. Your soul craves adventure. Your soul wants you to have all the things that it wants you to have. Your soul has desires. And we look at those desires from a neutral perspective, but there are desires there. There's a desire to travel. There's a desire to build or make something. There's a desire to be in partnership with someone. There's a desire to love, right? There's a desire to wake up and be paid for simply existing and being yourself. So when you attune to that soul's energy, that warmth, that love, you get into the frequency, the space of naturally, innately calling in those things that you truly desire. And they may not come in the way that your mind thinks they should come, right? They may come in a very different way. And yet you are still so comforted and satisfied. You still feel so much gratitude and appreciation for all that is, for the soul that resides in this body, for the soul that moves through this body, for the soul that is connected to all souls. And every experience you have is like a threshold to awakening your soul even more and calling in even more, developing more capacity for love. So that's what the soul feels like. Your soul feels like home, if you allow it, if you desire. You don't have to. You get to choose, right? Certainly, I wish and I transmit the energy to invite you into allowing, if that feels good. But only you will know. And that's what I was told to come in and say today. There we go, right? This is me showing up, offering my presence, and just allowing what wants to come forward to come forward. And for you to understand that, go watch my last video on the resonance for this week, which is your presence is a gift. It is the gift. Your soul is presence, full presence. Now that's exciting. Full presence within and full presence with others. That is something I am calling in for myself and for you. Okay. Thank you for listening. And I promise I'll be back again very, very soon.